Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is the Retro Gaming Goose and today we are playing Star Wars Rogue Squadron, or should I say, as the title of the video says, who remembers Star Wars Rogue Squadron. So I'm actually doing a series of videos at the moment because it is December, so I've decided December is Star Wars month. So basically most of the videos that I'll be doing this month are going to be Star Wars themed, and I thought I would start it off with this absolute gem. So Star Wars Rogue Squadron came out in 1998 and was a like an arcade style flight simulator game. It's on the Nintendo 64 and it is awesome. It is as a kid, it was one of my favourite games ever. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through some of the levels. If you go back a little bit there, so I'm going to start on the first level just to give you a real sort of show of how this game works and what it is. So basically, you take on Rogue Squad. Well, you take on the role as a member of Rogue Squadron. So like Red Team, Red 5 is just, and everything like that. You get to pick your actual like Star Wars spaceship you get to fly in. It's actually awesome. So the bog standard for this mission is the X-Wing, but if you do certain objectives you can unlock the A-Wing. You've got the Snow Speeder, or just the Speeder in this because it's also like Sand Speeder. You get a Y-Wing. You can unlock the Millennium Falcon. Unfortunately I haven't done it on my cart at the moment. The V-Ring, one of my favourite ever ships in Star Wars, and the Naboo starfighter. Now the interesting thing about the Naboo starfighter is that this game actually came out before a Phantom Menace came out, so this was a completely new thing. Somehow the developers, should I say, got hold of the oh, I can actually play this. It's awesome. I've already unlocked it. So yeah, so somehow the developers got the assets for the Naboo fighter. They are also the same team that developed the Battle for Naboo N64 game, which is one of the more rarer Nintendo 64 games, which I might do a video on. And it's basically a flight simulation, arcade style flight simulation game. So I am playing this on the Nintendo 64 and the controls are pretty good, so I'm going to skip the crawl because no one cares. So in this episode it's going to be a bit weird because, yeah, listen to the sounds. Oh, the sound quality of this game, so good. So yeah, so I guess the Millennium Falcon's the only thing I haven't unlocked on this when I played it again. But yeah, it's got pretty standard controls. Oh, I forgot how powerful this one is compared to... Normally it takes a few shots to take these down. So yeah, it's pretty standard. You use the analog stick and the trigger to shoot. And I think the Y buttons... No, not the Y buttons. The C buttons control your actual speed. Let me see. Oh, this has got a lock on. That's nice. The other one didn't seem to have a lock on, the X-Ring. So for 1998 Nintendo 64 game, this has some absolute incredible like sound design, the game design as well. I'll play this mission a little bit. This mission's quite short, and then oh, that's how I fire rockets. There we go. So this game actually got sort of like a remaster port. It came out on Steam, so you can pick it up quite cheap now. I don't know why I'm tilting my head so much. So you can pick it up quite cheap now, which is really good because I recommend this game so much. If you have a Nintendo 64, pick it up on the Nintendo 64 though, because the analog, the Joy-Con controls are so much better than the PC controls. That's just kind of my personal opinion on that one. But I prefer playing it with the controller because I feel like that's how they wanted it to be played. And I think, if I remember how to do it, you can go into a first-person view and see everything from the inside. There we go. First-person view, and you can play the game from inside the cockpit. Bear in mind, this is, like I said, 1998, Nintendo 64. It's really pushing the limits. it does run a lot smoother if you've got the expansion pack for the Nintendo 64, the little sort of booster expansion pack that you have. It's a bit smoother, the rendering's a bit better, but yeah, it runs alright. I like the graphics on this. I used to play this game so much as a kid, like an unbelievable amount, because I'm obsessed with Star Wars, which is you're gonna get used to me being obsessed with Star Wars over the next couple of videos. Oh god, that's a weird view. Why would anyone want to play like that? Yeah, so I absolutely love Star Wars games. I love Star Wars. I love new Star Wars, old Star Wars. Doesn't really matter. Like, Star Wars is Star Wars, isn't it? It's great. And this is one of them games that I spent so long as a kid. Like, this game, right? So, like I said, this game came out a whole year before Phantom Menace, and so as for me, there was no, like, before Phantom Menace, you didn't know what, like, you only had the original trilogy of Star Wars and the extended universe books. So, like, the sky's were the limit in terms of story. You had no idea where it was going, what was going to happen next, and these were the little snippets of like extended universe that Star Wars fans had back then. Like, I think there is a comic book, a Rogue Squadron comic book that this is based on. I know there is a novel series, a Rogue Squadron novel series. I can't remember if it's called Rogue Squadron or Rebel Red or something like that, but honestly, great games. And I genuinely think the majority of people that say that A-Wing is their favourite ship is because of this game. 100% that's the reason, in my opinion. But yeah, because this is like I said before the prequels, and because we just didn't have anything. We didn't have anything else back then in like the late 90s of Star Wars. Just the books, the comics, and the George Lucas approved things. And games like this, Shadow of the Empire, not so much Battle for Naboo, Dark Forces, things like that, the Jedi Academy series, those were like the ways that you had to have your extended universe Star Wars, your extra Star Wars, and I genuinely think it's the reason why fans react so badly to this, to stuff like the sequel trilogy, like the Force Awakens and Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker, which I think they're fine. They're all right. I don't mind them. I don't hate them or anything like that. I actually really like the Last Jedi. I think it's a great film. But I think the reaction that most fans have, and the reason why they hate them things and they hate them films so much, is definitely because of how good these games are. The story of these games, the gameplay, the way it immerses you in the world, and then when you find out that it's not canon, because like these story games aren't canon anymore. God, I am really bad at this. Am I just out of range completely of this TIE fighter? Ooh, yeah, there we go. How do I boost in? Nope, not that. But yeah, I think because now these story games are not canon, that's what causes all of these fans to be like so upset about the direction that the newer films have gone. Not so much like Andor. Andor's a great show, and the same with like the Mandalorian show. I think definitely for Star Wars, shows that are the way forward, because you can get all of that good story, pad it out longer, give people more Star Wars. I know some people are getting a bit lost with how much Star Wars they're taking out, that they're bringing out, and like Marvel in general ever since it's been with Disney. But at the same time, like, because these games are so good, because the stories are so well written, and because the developers put so much care, love, and attention into these games, is why they're sort of held with such high esteem, and why fans reacted so badly to newer Star Wars things. And like, if you compare these older games from like this game, like I said, 98, games like this coming out now, and then you see stuff like the whole, I know that Battlefront 2, the newer Battlefront 2 is a much better game now, but it took a long time to be a better game. Like, when that first came out, it was covered in loot boxes, it was bad servers, bad glitching, things like that. And like that, I guess like Jedi Academy, Jedi Fallen Order, that was a good game. That was a really good game, actually, now that I think about it. I should do a video on that. Oh. And I'm out of missiles, great. That's the one thing I didn't want to happen. But yeah, so I'm going to keep playing this until I die. I'm going to die in a minute. But I would say definitely, like, this is one of them games you should definitely pick up. If you're a collector of Nintendo 64 games, pick it up. You can get it quite cheap now. I think I got this one for about... well, I'm not sure how much I got this one for. I think I did a video on it. But if you want to get a boxed version of this, I didn't get it in a box because I don't really have any Nintendo 64 boxes because they fall apart like nothing. So I just have all of my cartridges loose and... Ooh, can I get him? Can I get him? But if you want to get a boxed copy of this, you're probably looking at like second hand, maybe about £30 under that maybe. If you want to get a mint condition one, it goes quite expensive to get a mint condition one. You're looking at the more higher sort of 150 to 180 pounds, but that's because it holds the Star Wars license. There is a special edition of this game which costs even more, but if you're curious, Steam sales are on. You'll always be able to find this game on the Steam sale. Oh god, it just starts right again. So yeah, if you're curious and you don't have a Nintendo 64, pick it up on Steam. It plays really well on the computer. I just prefer the controls on this one. So I personally go for this version. But yeah, great game. Pick it up. I'm just going to finish this off by trying to actually kill these, do the objective. What is going on? Okay, where are we? It's really hard when you've not got a lock on like the Naboo fighter has. Ah, that's how you slow down. After all of this, I've only just worked out how to slow down. Oh, the sound's getting a bit messed up. So that's just my copy of the game. The sound's getting a little bit messy. Just because... Well, it might actually just be my Nintendo, to be fair. There we go. Switch to fire, rapid fire back again. I would say, the only thing I will say, the negative about this game, is that you're going to get real sick of the TIE fighter sound. So the sound is actually messing up a little bit here. So it's probably not the best best example of this. I don't know why the sound's messing up. I think it's got something to do with my Nintendo 64. But what I'll do is I'll just end it there for now, because I can't be bothered to do the rest of it now, because I'm just going to be chasing TIE fighters and everyone's going to get real sick of that noise of the TIE fighter. But yeah, that... Okay, let's just turn that right down. Yeah, so 100% get this game. If you're interested in Star Wars games, it's an absolute must-have. Love this game so much. I spent so much time as a kid playing this game, but I would highly recommend it. I've had such fond memories of playing Star Wars games, and thank you for listening to me ramble about Star Wars. I realise I got into a bit of a Star Wars K-hole, but if you disagree or you agree with anything I've said in this video, comment below, let me know. I'm always happy to discuss anything. Yeah, so that is Star Wars Rogue Squadron on the Nintendo 64. Stay tuned, because this month is Star Wars month, like I said at the beginning of the video, and there's going to be plenty more Star Wars content coming out over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, like and subscribe to the video, and I'll see you in the next video.